Okay. So first of all, thank you all for coming today for today's event. For those who are coming for the first time, this is one of the activities of a national platform for AI development. Our organization is called AIslovakIA, and AI Radio is part of the activities and one in cooperation with Technological or University of Technology in Košice, TUKE, and especially Department of Cybernetics and AI. It started as an initiative or series of meetups organized by Peter Sinchak. He's joining us today from Korea. And later, we continue in his efforts. Currently, we moved completely to Zoom, and currently also are making these talks public on our YouTube. So those of you who would like to also see our previous meetups, there is possibility to see the recordings on our YouTube. I will share in a few minutes the link also to chat. Our today's speaker is connecting from New York. A short introduction of his work. He's basically senior architect in web services of Amazon. So AWS, you probably know this cloud service already. So he's doing a lot of important stuff in this cloud space. And he's also PhD student in Slovak Technological University, STU, at FIIT, which is Faculty of Informatics and IT. And he's doing his PhD under Ivan Kotuliak. And in AWS, Wilfrido is also focused on one of the deep tech stack, which is quantum computing. Today's talk will not be about quantum computing so much, but more about architecture and the services that AWS offers. So that's a short introduction of our speakers and also our activities. So I am giving word to Juraj Lišiak until the speaker will solve the technical issues that he's currently experiencing. Okay, so Juraj, the floor is yours.
Oh, Wilfrido, okay, you're there. Okay, go ahead then.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Juraj. Juraj, go ahead and introduce yourself. And
sure.
I need to get a headset for the phone because I'm joined by the
perfect,
phone.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Maybe I'll quickly just share the screen here.
Yeah, if you have the slides that Wilfrido prepared, that would be perfect.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so my name is Juraj Lišiak. I'm a colleague of Wilfrido. We both work in Amazon Web Services, and this is basically the cloud computing arm of Amazon. Wilfrido is in New York, and he has a certain industry. My role is here in Czech Republic and Slovakia, so I cover that as a solution architect. So most of my customers are financial institution and larger companies, and we help them with cloud adoption. One of the big things right now is, of course, AI. And this is what we're going to be talking about today is the AI. Well, let me share my screen here. That's interesting. Oh, Zoom, okay.
Yeah, feel free to share.
I might. Yeah, I have to re-sign into the application, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. So far,
sorry,
we cannot see you, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry for that.
No problem at all. You are connecting via the Atlantic, so That's maybe some technical stuff, so it's okay.
Okay, sorry about that. Let me turn on my video and I can start the screen finally. Okay.
Perfect.
You can see the screen?
Yeah,
So,
we can. Perfect.
We've got, so the main topic of today will be generative AI on AWS, and Wilfrido will chime in. So here are some sort of preliminary slides around generative AI. One of the things to keep in mind is machine learning has been around for quite a while at Amazon. So things like our Alexa product has actually already been using machine learning for the last almost a decade when formulating things like voice recognition, as well as transcribing. Machine learning has been done in the Amazon warehouses, where, for example, there's automation in terms of navigating through the Amazon warehouses. And some of our innovative stores, like the Just Walk Out stores, which you may have heard of, these are stores where basically you can go in the store and go right out, and it's using your face recognition, voice recognition to find out what you bought and who you are, and then pay for it without having to do anything else. So maybe I'll let, now that Wilfrido's back, maybe I'll let you take over.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, right? We have to thank AI Slovakia Radio for the opportunity. And I'm a native Slovak speaker as well, so but we'll do this in English. Just wanted to mention, and I started in Košice when I started learning Slovak. So my name is Wilfrido Solano. I am a solutions architect for Amazon. I work mainly in the partner organization, and from the partners, I deal with IBM basically. So that's part of my background, and I think Rado already explained a lot about my background, right? So we will not rehash that. And so there is one thing that I really want to focus on, and I really want you to notice, and that is that at AWS, right, so Amazon Web Services, at AWS, we always talk about democratization of the technology, right? And as you can see here on this slide, right, we have more than 100,000 customers using AWS, right, for machine learning exclusively. And I think that's one of the advantages of this way of using machine learning. You can see Zoom, for example, at the end of that list, and some of our known customers. We can move forward.
Okay. Or did you want to share the screen, or do you want me to?
I know I tried to share and I couldn't share. So.
Okay.
All right. So we focus on three big basic areas when we talk about generative AI. So in this case, we're going to be talking about the innovation impact of generative AI. And we divide this into three main areas. This is our focus. I just want everybody also to understand this is not, I will say, a lecture in theory. This is how Amazon Web Services looks at this technology. Right? And if you're wondering, obviously, I really want to answer the question about democratization. Right? So, but let's start with this. So the first one is that you can see as a company that is customer obsessed, we want to enhance the customer experience. Right? That's one area. Then you've seen the employee productivity increase. Right, so that's one of the things, and also creativity, right? Because many times you use generative AI to get to some of the basics, and then you move on to add on and get more creative with whatever basic layer you got from generative AI, right? And then the last one, obviously, we want to optimize business process, all right? And we'll see later on also how to do it. Here are some of the industries, right? Because we are industry focused as well. So I want you just to focus on the fact that, you know, this is cross-industry. This is almost everywhere. You have, you know, 5 years old talking about ChatGPT already, right? And so on. So it's pervasive. It's everywhere, right? We can move to the next one.
Yeah, I would just add that what's interesting is that you were seeing like financial services is traditionally an industry that's doesn't seem to be, you know, cutting edge. But what we're finding is that even here in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, what we're finding is the big banks are very interested in generative AI, especially for things like internal documentation summary, fraud detection, and compliance. So all these industries are fairly active in generative AI. And maybe I'll go to straight to the stack.
Yes, thank you. So again, the AWS view of this is that we are going to deal with 3 layers, and the idea is also to have tools and to have infrastructure and to have applications on all the layers. So with the first one, we will start with the infrastructure layer, right, for foundation models. I'm not going to get, because we don't have enough time, right? We're not going to deep dive into this type of slides, like go from the beginning to the end. What we really need to convey the message is that we do have a very strong relationship with NVIDIA, and that the NVIDIA chips are available through AWS, right? If you're going to ask about Blackwell and so on, yeah, obviously, you know, it's not there yet, right? But P5 is available. And then on the other side, that we are also doing a lot of improvement with our own silicon, right? Our own chips. In this case, is Trainium and Inferentia. That is our own technology, and it's also. If you go to the next slide, we have some of the results.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting about is when you look at training, and then the inference. There's basically 2 parts: the training part in a machine learning model, and the inference part. And now there are chips that are appearing that are specifically for that task. So, like our Trainium chip is specifically for training the model, and then you would use a different chip for the actual inference. So applying the model. And this is where you're actually seeing things like, you know, 4 times the throughput and 10 times the latency. So it's no longer that you just have one chipset, or you actually can break out the models into specific hardware. Do you want to talk about the SageMaker a little bit, or?
Yes, absolutely. So, in our main service in this case for machine learning is SageMaker. This product has been around for quite some time. And that's the service or the tool, if you want to call it the way that we use for what we have here. You can read later the slide, because we provide. Okay. Yeah. This is important. The previous one. Sorry.
Oh, this one here.
Yeah. Just that, you know, we have tens of thousands of customers using SageMaker, and that Falcon, right? SageMaker was used to train Falcon, 80 billion model, right?
Yeah,
Hugging Face and is using also.
Yeah, and as you can see, if it has 180 billion parameters, that's quite a bit of training, right?
And then we have the containers for Hugging Face as well. Have been working.
Yeah. I think, when this slide was taken in, the Falcon was the largest model, 180 billion. I think there's a couple that are bigger. But yeah, from what I understand, there was like 3,000 GPUs and petabytes of data to train the model on SageMaker. So it's when you're training 180 billion parameters, you can't just do it with one GPU. It requires a lot of hardware.
Okay. So in a very quick way, so that's that layer, right? So that we do have the infrastructure. If you want to just go ahead and train your model, bring your model, obviously you have space and you have the compute power to do it. And now we'll move to the next level, right? So this is what customers have been asking for. And as you can see, if we were just to look at some of the other models out there, some of their interfaces, right? Most of them are not enterprise level. And we always look at what are the customers, what are the enterprise customers asking for? And we divided that in these three areas. Right? Yeah. You can go to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. So we developed Amazon Bedrock, and Bedrock is the service that is going to cover for that layer, right? And that's part of the democratization of the technology that we're talking about. As you can see, you can choose, so you can, once you sign up for Bedrock, then you can choose from different providers of foundation models, right? You can customize it, and then everything that you are used to with Amazon Web Services is there, right? Starting from security, privacy, and any other, for example, integration with other services and so on. So it's all there as you are used to.
Yeah, and if you go to our Bedrock page, we keep adding more foundation models. So one of the things we just announced we're going to add is Claude 3. So Claude 3 is the Gen AI model that's getting better benchmarks than ChatGPT. So there's going to be a lot of these foundation models that are going to be emerging. This is more.
These are some of the, again, it's the NASCAR slide on customers using Bedrock. You can all right, and this is what Jure was talking about. I didn't want to stop you, but it was coming, right? So obviously, Claude, we have different foundation models. We have even from Meta, we have Llama 2, and Mistral also one of the latest ones just went on our platform as well. So, but we have to highlight also that we have our own model, which is Titan. And we use it extensively as well.
Yeah, and some of these are multimodal, but a lot of them are very specific. So, for example, some of them are specifically for image generation.
Like
some of them are also
stable diffusion.
Yeah, exactly. Stable diffusion.
But the thing here is like you have choice. That's the main message. You can go there, and depending on your use case, you can pick a model.
Yeah, and I would just say that you have kind of two options. One is we partner with something like Anthropic with Claude 3, but there's a lot of open source models as well, and those you can access through typically not through Bedrock, but through SageMaker, because they're available for anyone to basically implement.
Thank you. So here's some of the, I would say, the main challenge. This is the main challenge that we have, and that is the customers, and again, enterprise level companies and so on. They do want to use some of those foundation models, but they do have their own data, and they want to be able to customize the model somehow. And also, they don't want that data to go back to retrain the model. They want to keep the privacy of that data. And that's what we are trying to address in this case for those enterprise customers. As you can see, on the side of the customization, we go with three main, I would say, concepts, right? Either you grab the model and you do fine tuning, right? You can do RAG, right, which is retrieval augmented generation, or you can do continued pre-training. Right? So those are the three possibilities for customization that we can provide you. And you will be able to use your own data and keep the privacy and keep everything within the AWS construct that is called VPC, which is Virtual Private Cloud, right? Which means it is within your own account.
Yeah, and I would just add the fine tuning is the least expensive part. Well, if you do continuous pre-training, that's going to be the most expensive. So you have those sort of three options.
Now this is very interesting on this side, right? Because what is happening is that for an enterprise, it's a totally different game than what it is for an end customer. So an end customer, we like to go and say, okay, I have ChatGPT, I put my text there, my question, and I get the feedback, and that's it, right? But for an enterprise customers, what you're looking for is for action. You want to move on. You want to do something with that information. You want to trigger something with that information. And that's what we came out with the agents for Amazon Bedrock. And basically is to allow the artificial intelligence applications to take action. You read anything around this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, basically, you're creating a step series of functions. So you might have one query that goes into the Bedrock model, and then based on that, you can create an API call and a function that maybe gets more context or another data or does something else and then comes back. So this is brand new, so we're just experimenting with this, but it definitely can be similar to a RAG. It's basically incorporating your proprietary custom data and now custom actions into the Gen AI model. And yeah, and you've got these sort of three approaches.
Right. So this is a summary, basically, right? So you have choice, you can customize, and you can integrate. You can move on.
And I think you covered this already.
Right. So it's just the summarization. Right? It's secure and private, keeps the data secure, and keeps it within your VPC. On AWS, there is also another construct that is called private link. So you can have a private link from your VPC to the Bedrock services, so that you are absolutely sure that there is no outside communication with anything else. So that you are using a secure channel to communicate with the service, with the Bedrock service.
Yeah, and of course,
the full disclosure, I'm not a GDPR SME or expert, but if you have some questions about GDPR or HIPAA, please reach out and we will provide information.
Yeah, these are more compliance components. So yeah, this is the question we always get from large customers such as banks is, is our data going to be used to train the model? And the answer is no. Do we know what questions were asked? Is there some kind of audit trail? And these are integrated with our services like CloudTrail and CloudWatch, where you can see every single query that's being made, who's making it, and at what point. And then the compliance part is if you need to be compliant with things like HIPAA or GDPR, we have the compliance for that service available as well.
And this is the part that I like, right? So we have been talking a lot about responsible AI, and I don't know if you guys looked at Claude with constitutional. They came out with a constitutional artificial intelligence. Right? So this is our view for responsible AI. So you can move on to the next slide. We do have a service. It's called Guardrails for Amazon Bedrock, and the entire idea here is how you can filter content, right, based on AI or on what we call responsible AI policies. Same as Claude, I think we align nicely with Claude on this, and that is that the integrity and responsibility and the ethics should be already embedded from the very beginning on AI. So I saw things very interesting, for example, like asking the model. This is a classical question, right? So you go and you ask the model. I'm going to talk about driving. So are men better drivers than women, right? And the model comes back and says, well, there are no statistics or I cannot really derive any other conditions or benefits related to gender in terms of driving. So driving doesn't take part on these divisions, right? And that's very important, I think, for the models to be able to have that from the very beginning, right? So they will not give an opinion on something that is, is not correct.
Yeah, I mean, there's also filters for things that are, not legal. So most of the foundation models have built-in these guardrails that prevent supplying information that may be illegal, or in this particular case, you could also configure it to remove PII, so any personal information. So if there's any personal information about a particular, customer or person, that will be redacted.
Okay, and again, this is just a summarization, right? So you guys can see on the layer, the stack, how we're building, right?
Yep.
So the tools here is mainly Amazon Bedrock, and all these APIs to the models, and also the usage of things like Hugging Face and SageMaker. Right? You can see it's a little kind of like demo, like embedded into this slide. How you can use Code Whisperer, which is our helper, I would say, or assistant for coding. And this is a great tool. A lot of people have been using this a lot lately. Right? And you can see that the first two lines are basically the prompt, and then it creates the code. I will delve deeper into this. You are just
you will. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just going to say that integrates with most of the IDEs.
Right.
Okay.
So you saw the Bundesliga is using, right? The Code Whisperer as one of our customers as well.
Is it okay?
Yeah, if you go to a slide on the customer.
Here we go.
Before, we'll go back.
Oh, before?
Yeah.
Which one was this?
That.
Oh, Bundesliga, yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Right. Some of the customers that are using have a Code Whisperer. Okay. We can.
Yeah, maybe I'll go to, this is.
Okay. Okay, perfect. All right. So this basically explains how we are using Code Whisperer. Right? So on the left side, you have Amazon code that we have been coding for 20 years almost, right? You have publicly available code. Code Whisperer was trained on that 100%. Right? And now you can add your own code. You can add your own APIs into this, right, with the customization capability. And then you can get suggestions based on your code. So this is how you can really speed up onboarding or any type of customizations or changes in this case that you're going to do to your own code, and get also new developers to understand what is going on. It's also great for documentation purposes, for example, right? So you can really use this a lot in the development space. We can move on to the next one. This is an interesting statistics, and that is, we tested developers, and basically what happens is with Code Whisperer, they were able to finish the task, right? 28% faster than if they didn't have the help from Code Whisperer.
Yeah, and we're getting into Q.
Correct. So, what are the challenges at work, right? So, you don't really want to. So we're again talking about enterprises. We don't really want to go and look at trying to get connected to something like ChatGPT for your questions at work, right? For your data, for your documentation, your code. So what we came out with is our flagship right now as the, I would say, enterprise assistant, right? Which is Amazon Q. And Amazon Q, the entire idea is that we will be able to roll in multiple areas, right? Multiple data, including business data. So you can build this great assistant that is totally customized to your own enterprise. Okay? We have a flavor of Amazon Q as an Amazon Q developer, and this is for to help you with your code. We already talked about this. So basically, I can say Code Whisperer is kind of evolving also within Amazon Q. And this is a very interesting slide that you guys can look at this later. So these are some of the areas where you have obstacles for developers, right? And if you go to the next one, what is going to happen? Right?
Yeah.
You're ready. Perfect.
Yeah, and this is actually, we have interesting. I just had a customer meeting where we had a lab around this. And one of the things that they used it for is, for example, generating unit tests. So basically, all you have to do is highlight the function, and then just say generate a unit test for this, and it will try to create one for you. So there's a lot of things that it can automate.
Yeah, correct. And and this is how Amazon Q, or basically what features on Amazon Q you can use to knock down those obstacles.
Yeah, like another one is this one, understand the new code base. So you could actually get it to summarize a particular part of the code and say, what does this part of the code do? And then it tries to generalize and say, oh yeah, if this doesn't this and this, along with the standard finding vulnerabilities and bad code practices. Do you want to talk about Q business or Fredo? Yeah. Wilfrido, did we lose you or?
Probably we lost the connection, or he switched like camera, and probably audio was like not able to like continue. So maybe switch to you and we will wait.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, so for example, so basically the Amazon Q will be a family of products. So one of the things you will see is when you go to our website now, you will see a little queue at the bottom, and you could ask it a question. So for example, you could ask it a question, what does this Amazon service do? And it will be basically a chatbot that will be embedded in all parts of the AWS and Amazon component. One example of that is in the personal assistant is you basically go to Amazon and you ask about a product and say, well, what usually is sold with this product? Are there similar people who have bought another product and so on? One place that I just started using it was in QuickSight. So QuickSight is it's like Microsoft has Excel and Power BI. It's basically a way of visualizing data. And the hardest thing that I found when you use Excel or something like that is you need to know the context and you need to know the function. And here you just basically ask them and just say, hey, I need a graph that shows sales for the last week based on volume or something like that. And instead of having to figure out how to do that in Excel or in a function, you just ask Q to do it, and it will create the visualization for you. So, things like VLOOKUP tables, and you don't have to worry about that. It actually creates it for you. And then Connect, Amazon Connect is our contact center. So what it's doing there is basically automating a lot of the contact center components. So questions, and it's actually going to be available in multiple languages, because those foundational models, a lot of them are multimodal, multilingual. So that's kind of a high level overview of Amazon Q, and we'll see it for business, for development, and you'll see it probably embedded in a bunch of other products. That's going to be embedded in a lot of products that we have.
Okay. And can you hear me again or no?
Yeah,
we can hear you and see you, but it's different, like channels, different probably accounts on Zoom, but we can see both and also hear.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Did you want to talk about this summary slide?
Right. Thank you. So yes, this is the complete summarization. Right? So as you can see, we're trying to really have tools and services on each one of those layers. We also say many times that these are the layers until you have some better layers. So if you think that there is something else that we're missing, yes, of course, we always listen to the customer, whoever that is, because even if it is an end user, a consumer, it will be our customer. So until we have better ones, this is what we have. Those are our capabilities on the stack. Right? On the application side of the picture, we'd really like to bring up, since we have students also in the audience, I would like to bring up Party Rock, right? Is also a great tool. It's external, and you can join Party Rock and create your own tools. For example, one of the last tools that I tried with Party Rock that is out there, very interesting. It's about writing smart goals, right? And I don't know if you guys have to write smart goals anytime, right? They have to be measurable, right? They have to be attainable and so on, right? Those are the smart letters. And this tool, when you pull your goal, this tool comes back and tells you like, okay, this goal is not measurable, and then you can tweak it until you have a good pass, and then we do this with the generative. All right, so this is what we mentioned, what I just mentioned. Right? So we can move on. It's just do you have everything that you need to accelerate the AI job?
And then, yeah,
okay.
I guess this last part here is about, yeah, go ahead.
No, we can just move to the barcodes if you guys want to see it, right? Because I think we are.
The barcodes. Okay.
Or you can stop. Sorry, go back to
this one.
Sorry that I'm not correct. One thing that I would really recommend is skill builder. Right? We have tons of what I will call digital classes that are for free. This is a very valuable resource for any student out there. We have many things. In this case, right, if you're interested on artificial intelligence, then the certification that you probably should go for is machine learning. Right? But I always recommend to go for cloud practitioner as the first one. Right? That's the very first one. You can do it via a game like Amazon Quest, right? It is out there as well. You can game your way through and get the certification for cloud practitioner, and then you can also do skill builder and get all different digital badges as well that we have for different areas. There is one for generative AI out there, and one digital badge you can use. You can try to achieve that. And And those are free. Like this is free training, free access to.
Yeah, and here's the link to go to the skill builder. Yeah.
I also know that the Technical University in Košice is part of the AWS Academy program. Okay? So if you reach out to, and I unfortunately I don't know who is leading that program at Tuke, but if you reach out to the individual that is leading the AWS Academy at the university, then you can get access to have the training and get certified. And also you can get credits so you can do hands-on practice and labs as well. I think you can go to the next one. That will be for the end.
Oh, so we just go to 29 million by 2025. Yeah. And this is the way we typically, most of our customers, when they ask us about Gen AI, you typically focus on a particular use case. So it's a specific business problem or area they're trying to improve. So let's say they want to do document summarization at a bank. That would be a good use case. Then we have the training using those tools, and then we typically do a POC. A POC is a proof of concept where we set up the particular use case. We see if it actually makes sense and is validated, and then we can move it to production. That's probably the easiest way to get started. And maybe you can, Wilfrido, do you know about this AI Innovation Center?
Right. So we do have a Gen AI Innovation Center. If you are interested in, please reach out to us and we will provide more information. Yeah, that's the end. Right. I think we did in like less than an hour. I was worried. Do you have any questions or anything?
Yeah, definitely. There is now opportunity for the audience to ask any questions. You can just unmute yourself and ask directly, or you can write it into chat. So feel free. You have excellent opportunity to basically ask the experts from AWS to any questions that you might have. So feel free to unmute and ask directly.
And while you think about the questions, so I can talk a little bit also about the specific area right around Košice and so on, right? So we do have, I just wanted to bring this up as well, but we do have now a meetup in Košice. So it's a AWS meetup. Please go to the meetup application and then you will be able to find out when they are meeting. Right now, there is a call out for speakers right now for that meetup, and I think it's happening in June, the first meetup for this group.
That's right.
I have been leading the what it was the AWS user group for Slovakia initially, right?
Yeah.
And now we have gone basically by city. So now what was AWS user group Slovakia is now Bratislava, and now we have this one in Košice. If there is anyone from a different city and they want to start a meetup as well, that's not an issue. You can go ahead and do Banska Bystrica or something else.
Yeah, I put the link in the chat. So yeah, it's on June 11th is the first one in Košice, Amazon Web Services user meetup. So these user groups are not run by us; they're run by people from the community. So they have control over the content and the subject. So feel free to reach out to them. I will be definitely at the June 11th meetup. So if anyone wants to meet me, I'll be there.
Awesome. So far, audience doesn't have questions. So maybe I will ask one. As for what you see as a future of these cloud services, and as for the training of future models, do you think that the next step will be a even larger models that you mentioned that you are using, or the way forward is more like smaller models but more focused on maybe dedicated lawyer or dedicated economist or something like that, that it will be based on profession and smaller with unique knowledge base trained individually, or the future in these large language model and generative AI is in to be bigger and bigger and all more parameters. What do you see as AWS is one of the key players in this industry, so you probably have some insight into what's the direction of these large language models.
Yeah. So what I will mention before is I need to make a disclaimer as well, right? So this are our opinions. It will be our opinions, and they do not represent the AWS opinion. And also, please do not make any, this is a looking forward statement as well. So please do not make any decisions on buying stocks or selling stocks based on whatever we're going to discuss here. So what I see and what you guys can see also, what is happening in the market is, I would say twofold, right? One, we will probably get to a little bit of a consolidation into a couple of key players in terms of the foundation models. But if you look at what happened with Claude right now, you will see as the same, the different trend, as you were saying, right? About that, it is Claude came out with Claude 3, and they have 3 different players, right? And they have one that is smaller and faster than another one that is medium, and then they have a big one that is slower, right, but more intelligent. So that's what I see that is going to happen also, or is happening in the market. Right? There is not one size fits all, and you will see consolidation, but also you will see choice within that consolidation, right? For more specific tasks. Let's take the lawyer example, right? So perhaps I don't really need 180 billion parameters on a model to answer questions regarding to law that also are going to be coming or are going to be fed from my own data. Right? So that's what I say. That Twitter has a different opinion.
Yeah, we've actually tried a couple of POCs with customers, and generally, the bigger the model is, the more parameters it has. It's going to perform better. It's going to have better results. And then you do the customized training with your own data on top of that model, right? At the same time, it's going to be, there's kind of a sweet spot. So if your model is too small, it's going to not perform that great. If it gets to a certain size, making it any larger, you're not going to get that incremental level of value. So we're, at least from the customers I'm looking at, we're still figuring a lot of this out. So there's not a single answer. Generally, more parameters, the better the model. But it also depends on the models. For example, if you look at the tokens and how big those 3-dimensional vectors are, and how much relationship information it has. So there's going to be a lot of, I think, changes in innovation. And when you look at the way this has evolved, like for example, when Falcon came out earlier in the year, it was, the next month there was another model that superseded it, and then Cloud 3 came out. So you're seeing a lot of changes, a lot of progress. So I think it's going to be the answer to your question is we don't know yet. We're gonna find out what the best models are, and I think the great thing we have in terms of advantage is we're working with multiple companies, right? Anthropic, the open source models, and Hugging Face. So you can actually really see the space evolve in the next year or so.
Yeah, currently Anthropic has the best like Claude 3, at least from my experience. It's currently the best large language model out there. Very useful. If I can like suggest also to the audience, like to experiment, and they are even offering like free like access, some credit. But yeah, as you mentioned, nobody among us know what like future brings. I was just asking from your like point of view. You have probably some like different insight than me or anybody else in audience. So it's yeah, we will see. But I thank you for the answer. Yeah. Okay. Is there anybody else who would like to ask a question from the audience? Peter is already like missing. Okay, so if there are not any other questions, not even like in the chat, I would like to thank you again for the excellent talk, excellent like presentation. We have now better like knowledge as for the portfolio, basically AWS, and also the like at least for me, there were many like products of AWS that I have not heard before. So thank you for that and for your insight, for sharing that with our community. There will be also recording. If you agree that we will like publish it afterwards, the like maybe we will cut the beginning and so on and so on. We will share it also with some guys who will not or were not able to join us this time. So yeah, we will discuss this further. But in the link that you find in the chat, you can find also previous like meetups. So yeah, if you agree, we will publish also this one there. And thanks again for your time and also for sharing the knowledge that you have. So thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Ďakujeme.
Thank you. Ďakujeme, do widzenia.
From this perspective, I would say